We should also be live on there. So I think we're live. Right. That is session 14 of the Priestess and the Silver Cave, our Conan game. So yeah, Charlie. Now see if you can remember what we just talked about. So give us a quick recap of where we were. What happened
in last session after working out by the tip of your floor, and we didn't want to go down the bottom, even though we sent somebody down the bottom. We went through and found a flooded gateway, or a floodable gateway if you lifted the gate. So we read Baldur's map, headed back round the big loop around the building, past the tapestry that I damaged. Back down the other side, found it was an almost exact mirror of what there was before. And Genghis tested the floor to see if it was going to tip again. It did something different, but it's still too dangerous to walk on, so we went round that. Headed off into another gate identical to the other side. We worked out if we lifted it up, it flooded. So we worked together as a team and got through under the gate and dropped it again, the water drained away. We headed on into the next room and we stood in front of some big double doors, deciding what to do next.
That is right. Okay. So, so the double doors you stand in front of in the room are a large set of bronze doors. They completely dominate this side of the room. They've got niches either side of them that have candle wax in them. So obviously at some point in the past, these were used for holding candles. The door itself is dominated by a large kind of 2.5, 3 foot wide symbol embossed on the doors of a lidless eye surrounded by a snake swallowing its own tail. The design has kind of faded slightly, but it was obviously originally painted. The snake is green, the eye was red, and the one bit that hasn't faded is the cat's eye pupil in the middle of the eye, which is still has been painted a dull black. The doors look as though they can be pushed away from you, and that was where we left you, wet and probably a little shivery from your soaking in the room with the portcullis.
Mm-hmm. And there are nothing exciting on the walls, so we're just puzzling as to make sure our lamps are lit, refill with oil.
Yeah, who's carrying a lamp and who isn't?
I am carrying a lamp.
Levi still had one.
I am not.
I can't remember.
I think
they put yours out because you
when
were
the water
using your bow.
came down. We lost some of the lamps, I think.
I think Aladai was the only person that managed to keep his lamp lit.
Yes,
during that.
I'll refill mine and relight it.
Yeah, but you guys, you know, if you're stood in this room trying to work out whether or not you're going to go through the next doorway, there isn't a problem with deciding, okay, before we open this doorway, X, Y, or Z person wants to have a lamp with them.
Yeah, check the wick, relight it.
Okay, so is it just Actian and Aladai that are gonna have lamps?
Oh, go on then. I'll have a lamp as well.
Okay, it's entirely down to you.
No, it's not. I'll have a lamp as well.
Okay.
Decision made. Let's carry on.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, you're stood in this room. It's wider than it is deep. It's about, I don't know, 11, 12 foot deep, with these two double doors. There are stone doors that you came in through either side, and just these bronze doors in front of you.
The ceiling's just a plain stone ceiling?
I think it Was it domed or was that a different room? Yeah, it's a domed ceiling.
No holes in the ceiling or anything, just domed.
Yes,
strength,
no,
right.
no holes in there. Just a domed ceiling.
Mm.
We're looking for a volunteer to open the doors. I'll get my sword out, hold my lamp up, and obviously got to push the doors
Okay,
open. Right?
I will walk forward and I'll see if I can push one of the other doors.
So one of the two bronze doors.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put your hand against it, give it a shove. It moves in, and as it does, the other door moves with it as well. So both doors open in together, even though you've only pushed one of them. Right. Give me a moment, because one thing does happen here which will be interesting. We'll get on to that in a minute. Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as soon as I saw it.
Okay. So, as the door swings open, one of the things I'm going to do is because of the feel of this place that I will get into in a minute. 4 doom are immediately added to the pool.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Isn't it? I liked it.
Not really, no.
Okay, this is again a large domed chamber. As you can see, it's 30 plus feet deep. There are 2 passageways leading off from either side of it, but aside from the general size of it, the first thing that strikes you is the figure that is standing directly opposite you. So the other side of this 4-foot high big pile of stones, there is a huge statue with 4 statues that surround it, 2 on either side. The one in the center is probably about 9 feet tall. It's like a man and a half high, and is scaled similarly. The 2 statues on either side of the central one they're slightly larger than life size, you think. Obviously it depends on how big these people were, but they're slightly over 6 feet tall. Each statue is of an ancient warrior with a Gothic looking face, not of Khossus V, but of a Gothic looking warrior, but bald and with a Stygian style beard, kind of very square, and if you think kind of Egyptian. Each holds a shield in front of them and a large spear in their other hand. And like I say, between you and them, across the stone floor, there is this, for want of a better word, cairn of stones, at least 4 feet tall, standing in the middle of the room. So on the map, that's the dotted area.
Are they cut stones or rough hewn? Rubble from the ceiling.
They're not rubble from the ceiling, but they don't look. They don't look like they're not perfectly fitted. They look as though they've been piled together. They've got that kind of dry stone walling kind of look to them. That kind of rock and that kind of shape to it, but not quite as deep, and just like piled in a massive cairn in front of you.
Looking across, the statues are holding shields and weapons, but are they still carved out of stone?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a difference between a large snake which is completely still and you're not, you think it's a statue, and these are, well, they're certainly not people because they're
No, but the weapons. You said they were holding the weapons, but they are stone weapons.
Yeah, yes, actually, yeah. There's stone weapons and stone
Right.
shields.
Okay. Are
You
we going to step
feel
inside?
you can feel the hairs on the back of your neck starting to prickle as the like I say, as the two doors just open in front of you onto this slightly bizarre scene.
Standing in the doorway as we are, as I am, I'm looking across the doorway. Are the 4 statues, not the main one, but the 4 other ones, are they all the same? Or are they depicting different people?
They appear to be identical. They do not appear to be entirely identical with the large one.
Right. So they're not depicting people, they're depicting people, not persons.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to work out how to say that one.
But it's a huge space.
And the roof domed?
Yep.
No murals, just domed stone.
I believe they are just domed, and I think the walls are, aside from the statues, the walls are appear to be not carved, which is unusual in this place so far.
Plain. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Just plain. Right, okay. Any other interesting questions before we go for it?
Not particularly.
You know, step in and see what happens.
I can see the 5 of you all standing there looking at one another in the vast
Shall we
space
go, or
barely
shall we wait?
illuminated by the three lamps.
Which side are you standing, Baldor? Left or right?
I'll stand to the right.
You're standing to the right. Okay, I'll be standing to the left. So I'm thinking we'll step in and step to the side of the door to free the gap. Is it 2 people wide? Is each door a person wide?
Yeah, probably a person and a bit. Yeah, you could walk through this 3 abreast, no trouble.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to move in, and I think I'm going to move closer to one of the smaller statues.
Okay. When I move in, we just step right. Just step left and step against the wall.
Okay. What are Genghis, what are Aladai, and what's Cage doing?
Cage is putting the oil down.
Making the tea, I'd say.
Yeah.
Is Baldor with whip or bow?
Whip, because I'm carrying a lamp.
Okay.
Actually, no, probably a sword.
Yeah, I think I'd stand back to the wall next to Baldor.
Baldor's walking into the center room. Actian's kind of come in and moved slightly to one
just
side.
left here in the door, yeah.
Baldor's walking across past the end of the cairn over to look at the statues.
I'd position myself there.
Okay. What's Aladai doing?
He would be just kind of seems slightly transfixed by the statues. Before just slowly walking into the room as well. But seems quite on edge about something.
Somebody's going to have to tell me what
Cage is doing.
What Cage is doing.
Putting the oil barrels down in the other room.
She'd probably just walk in with Actian, wouldn't she?
Yeah. Yeah,
probably.
Okay. So alone of the 5 of you, Baldor walks across the room. Past the cairn and up to look at the statues. Do you want to make me an observation roll for Baldor?
Yeah. That's 2d20, isn't it?
Yeah, unless you want to spend anything on it.
No, I think you've already got enough to.
I don't know.
So that would be 2d20.
Mhm.
And it's a 1 out of 9 for me.
Okay,
That's
so you
pretty good.
get 1 success. Yeah, the statue is most definitely of granite. The spear and the sword, they're extra. I mean, the statue and the spear and the sword are exquisitely carved. You could almost figure you could like take the weapons off and use them. They look that right, except for the fact that when you have a proper look at them, they are molded to the hands and the arms, so they're like one unit. But they are incredibly well fashioned.
Do they look like they're from any particular culture?
The look of the faces, they look Gothic, which is kind of, so that's the Goth is the area that this is built in.
Okay.
The beards have a Stygian look to them, sort of faintly Egyptian, which as you've been walking through the complex, there's been various Stygian stuff on the walls. There's been that army of sorcerers and snake-headed, human-headed snakes, and tentacled creatures and things. But in the background of quite a lot of that stuff has been black pyramids from Stygia and that kind of very Stygian iconography. So you come here, it's interesting, the beards are very definitely Stygian, but the people aren't. The armor looks, to a mercenary's eye, archaic, well made, but archaic. But you couldn't place necessarily a particular culture for that.
Okay.
But the bone structure and the facial structure would suggest.
Any other markings on the wall over here?
No, the walls are pretty much smooth. You came in on the. You said you came in on the right, didn't you? Okay, so what you can see is, as you walk in, you'll be able to glance down this side corridor, and you can see another corridor that leads off. And at the end of that corridor, it looks like it opens out again, and there's a suggestion of another cairn, like the one in the middle of this room, off in the side chamber.
Okay. I more want to look around the statues for a bit more to see if it looks like there's been any movement around them, to see if the armor on them is carved into them or is stuck on or something like that. You know, just want a good look round.
Okay, so the armor is a carved part of the statues. Are you going all the way around to the big statue?
Yes, please. Yes, I think I will do that.
Okay. Make me another observation roll.
Whilst he's doing this, Louis, I'm switching a normal arrow for a poison one. I've got an uneasy feeling about this place, and I'm readying a shot.
Okay. The arrow, it you got to pull it, and you've got that bit in your quiver that you put in. So you find it, and then it's got that out. But yeah, okay. So you've got a poisoned arrow out and knocked. Okay, so that's one success, isn't it?
One success, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's no signs that you can see around any of the statues that they've moved in any way. Given the depth that you're looking at the statue, the big statue does seem to have a seam down it, almost as if it's a sarcophagus, but not none of the smaller statues do. But that's the only thing you can see, and it's pretty faint.
Okay. is there any dust or anything around the statues as in covering the scene up?
There's a tiny trace of dust. I mean, given how long you think this place has probably been deserted for, there's actually very little dust around the entire place. So yeah, there's a tiny bit of dust, but there's no sign in the floor that the dust is has been disturbed.
Okay, I'm given my culture. What do I think of grave robbing?
Oh, what does a Sumerian think about grave robbing?
Because in most of the Conan films, he don't care. He's in there. He's getting the loot.
Yeah, those are the movies though.
But I've based my entire character upon Arnold Schwarzenegger's effectively acted character in Conan.
Yeah, might have been worth reading a couple of the original stories. Yeah, no, I would say the Sumerians probably don't go in for a lot of very ornate burial. I'm going to leave it entirely down to you. Like I say, yeah, I wouldn't have thought there would be a lot of ornate burial. You would have, I think Sumerians, I would have said probably burn their dead rather than inter them.
And as these aren't Sumerians, you wouldn't be that worried about it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave you to decide what you think about cultures outside of Sumeria. But yeah, the Sumerian cultures are Sumerian culture would be cremation rather than burial.
I like it. I'll bury it at sea.
Okay. How about I get a dagger in it to see how easily it comes apart?
Okay, so you're trying to get a dagger stuck into that gap.
Yeah.
Is there anything that anybody else is going to do?
Could I examine the stone pile?
Okay. So just kind of walk around it and have a look, or start lifting stones?
No, have a good look at it. I'm not going to touch it yet. Have a good look around first.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything particular that you're looking for, that you're trying to find?
Just looking to see if it might be concealing something deliberately, before I touch it. Is there an obvious way it's been stacked up, or is it just people walk past and put a stone on there?
It definitely looks constructed. It definitely looks constructed. There's a symmetry to it. There's something very deliberate about it. It's not just a pile.
So is it big enough to conceal a person?
Yeah, easily. It's maybe 12 foot from end to end.
So it could be a tomb.
It's a good six. Yeah. It's a good 6 foot deep by 12 foot long. If you look on that map, the doors are
3 foot each.
I was going to say the doors are about 6 foot wide in total, something like that. The statues are good. The large statue is 9
big enough.
So it's a big area. Yeah. Actian was walking up the other side. So the other thing is, very quickly, Actian likewise can see down this corridor as he walks by, enough to see that, about 8 feet down that corridor, it opens out into another area, and it looks as though there's probably another one of these cairns in that area.
Is the dark black circle, is that a step, or is it just a...
I'll be honest, that's where I didn't spot it in time to remove it from the map.
That's fine. No, that's what I was asking. These things happen. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that black line shouldn't be there.
That's fine.
So yeah, pretend they're not there. The annoying thing is they're not on the other map I'm looking at, but
it's a slight step. You won't notice any walk up it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Someone else stand next to me and move some stones.
Yeah, Alad, I would.
Okay, so Allardyce going to walk up next to Acti and have a look and start taking a couple of stones off the top of the cairn.
Yeah. But before Action might reach, he just put his arm and go, but slowly.
You're starting at the top. You're starting at the side. What are you thinking?
I'll be starting on the side nearest the doors, if you like, dead centre.
Okay.
Because I can see both sides in emergencies and a retreat, if necessary.
Okay.
Not that I'm likely to run, but
So you two are stood there and start kind of lifting the top stones off. They're not fitted's the wrong term for it, but the first couple that you start to take out, you've kind of got to dislodge a bit to lift, just because the other stones are packed around them. It looks a little haphazard, but it's definitely not been done in a haphazard fashion. So you start to dislodge the first couple of these stones, and Baldur takes the dagger and kind of gets it lined up with the seam and kind of tries to slide it in. You push the dagger and it just slides in. It's pretty tight, but it will get in there. So what does Baldur want to do as he's...
Okay, I want to see if I can wiggle it, see if I can get any space to look inside, and see if that provokes any kind of reaction from the statue or the statues around.
Okay. So you get the dagger in, and like just trying to wiggle it, it's not moving, and you get, I mean, you're a mercenary by trade. Trying to twist it, you're kind of getting a feeling this is really heavy, and you get the feeling that if you just push it, there's a very good chance you're going to come away with a very, very bent dagger or just the hilt. It's not that it's not possible to open it, but you'd want a crowbar or something really substantial. If you start leaning your weight on your dagger, you're
like a sword
to break it.
Would a sword be substantial enough, or am I talking sort of like, an axe?
An axe would definitely be sturdier. I'm guessing a sword would be sturdier.
Because I know he's got an axe.
Get more leverage on it. Depends what sort of sword, wouldn't it?
So you're going to ask Cager to come over with an axe, or?
Yeah. It all depends on how Cager would react to that.
Can you walk behind it and push it over?
No, it's a way to go. Is it moulded to the wall?
It appears to be, yeah.
All right.
Then no, that's backfired out, Charlie.
It does look. It does look as though it's actually. Now that you go and properly inspect it, it does look as though it's molded to the wall. I'm going to say Cage is not very inclined to come and put, I think it's diplomacy, but I might have that the wrong way round, into that crack and start potentially knackering her razor sharp blade.
You could ask somebody for his what was it, his grappling hook.
I've not got it. You broke it.
He didn't bring the hook back up when he went down the hole.
I didn't go down the hole.
Oh.
Okay, so as Cage is saying, you want me to do what? Baldur suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you notice that the gap is actually getting wider, and you just hear a slight grind.
Hooray! I found the mummy.
As the gap starts to open.
Okay, I'm gonna ease back a bit, yeah, and I'm gonna draw my sword.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Can we hear the grinding noise? Is the question. Will we notice something different apart from him stepping back?
I think Cager would probably notice because she's looking at the statue. No, Aladai and Actian probably wouldn't. I would say Genghis might.
Yeah, so Genghis has got his back to the wall, and he's literally left-hand corridor, cairn, statue, right, left, cairn, statue, right. Literally. Okay. Probably muttering to Khossus, saying, please let us out of this. And I think at the grinding, with my heightened senses, I'd probably literally... I'd be straight over there.
Okay. So, yeah, you see Baldur move back, draw a sword, and step back rapidly from the sarcophagus. You can see that the lid of this thing is starting to move forwards on the west side, and it's actually starting to pivot open.
West Coast.
I'll pick up another stone then.
I think
if I haven't seen it.
Baldur, I would like to make. Actually, it's going to be another observation roll because it's a yeah. Kaja can also make an observation roll if somebody wants to, but it would be at 2 difficulty because she's further away.
That's 1 success for me.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want me to roll Cajas?
If you would like to roll for Kaja, that's all good.
It's another 2d20.
2d20. She's going to need 2 successes.
I don't know what her observation is, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad.
I think it's a fail.
That's probably a fail.
1 success. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be 1, but not 2.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I knew what what's my PC doing tonight. Give me half.
Playing Minecraft in the background.
I don't know what it's doing, but it's really, really running slow. The hell?
Doug, it's working, that virus.
Well, some instances the CPU's and half running. Mind you, XSplit's using a large amount of that, but flipping heck. Right, okay.
Is Steam open, Louis?
Aha!
Always worth exiting Steam.
Always worth exiting Steam if it is open.
Yeah.
It is well spotted, that man. There we go. Right. Has that made any difference? Not a lot, but at least I've got a little bit of overhead. I think I might need to shut down Minicam at some point, but hey. Right, okay. Baldur, you hear the sound of feet on stone, or boots on stone, coming from the opening of the statue.
Right, okay, so I am going to say I can hear someone coming and just prepare myself for fighting whatever comes out of the statue.
Okay, how far?
I'm going to retreat back about 10 feet.
Okay, so kind of by the side of the cairn.
Yeah.
To get it between you and... Okay.
Which side?
The way I came in, the opposite way to you, Charlie.
Okay. Well, I'm standing dead behind it at the moment.
So
I think I would probably call out Aladai, Actian.
Yeah, no, as soon as either Genghis or as soon as Baldur or Genghis mentioned that there's something coming, Aladai would be up with his dagger. Because he already had one in his hand, presumptively ready to stab anything which tries to come out of the rubble. But yeah.
Okay.
I'll pick my lamp up and put it on top of the stands because it was on the floor while I was moving the stands.
Okay, so as Baldur moves back, it's not as easy for Kaja to see this. It's actually not as easy for Genghis to see this either because you're both on the east side of the room. But from the west side of the room, you can see as the sarcophagus opens, there's just like a dark space inside which looks like it goes back. So there isn't a back on the back of that statue, but what you can hear is the sound of feet coming towards you.
lots of feet or some feet? Or don't know.
It's a bit difficult to tell because there is definitely an echo in that passageway behind it. But more than one pair. Definitely more than one pair.
Okay.
It's a giant centipede.
It sounds, you would almost swear that they were shod feet. They were they're wearing shoes. It's not like the sound of it's not like the sound of Gollum coming. It's
not horses.
The sound of heavy footsteps.
I was thinking
horses,
minotaurs.
Does it appear? Do they appear to have made it out of the sarcophagus?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Does it look like they're trying to push it open?
No. The sarcophagus is now opened enough that you can see the space behind it, and there isn't anything in there. There's just like, it looks like there's just a corridor that heads
Can I
back
kind
a
of like
bit.
charge forward and see if I can get the door to shut again?
You can do, yeah.
I'll give that a go.
Okay. Right. Okay. Run forwards. You can get to the door of the sarcophagus. I'm guessing you've put your lamp down.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you grab hold of the edge of this sarcophagus. It's going to be a pretty epic test to get this thing to close, because
Right.
as you get to it, you realize there's weight behind it and it's pushing, and it's heavy itself. So you're going to need a D4 in order to be able to get this thing to close, and it will be an athletics check.
An athletics check.
Cheeky Mr. Counter.
That's 11-2, and I'll need at least 4 successes.
You're
Yeah.
going to need 4 successes to do that. Yeah.
So if I spend a point of
Fortune.
fortune, how many successes did that give me? Just the one.
That gives you it basically it rolls a die, it rolls an extra die and comes up 1. So you'll get, what's your athletics?
2.
Two.
Yeah,
you'll get
focus
2
on it.
Yeah, you'll get 2 successes on that because you've got focus on it.
You're still
And
in
then you'll still need 2 successes on 2 dice.
Can you spend more than 1 fortune per roll?
Yeah, can.
Okay.
Spend doom.
So I'm a bit confused. In roll 20, you say
Yeah.
I've only got 2 points of fortune, but my character has 3 crosses on it.
I think you used 1 point of fortune
Last time.
last session or the session before.
On the
Okay.
fear roll when we encountered the snake statue.
Yeah,
I used one of mine then as well.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use a point of fortune.
Okay.
That gives me 2 successes.
It gives you 2 successes. It gives you 1 extra dice. So you'd still roll 2, but you're going to get you're going to get 2 successes straight away.
You have an option, Simon, if you want to give him a doom and roll an extra d20.
Damn it, that's close. Because I've already rolled and I don't get that option, do I?
No, you shouldn't.
No, we'll stick with the rules then. So it
Okay.
doesn't look like I've done it. So I've
Okay.
got 3 successes
So you got
there.
3 successes. Okay, so what I'm going to say is, if you make a dive forwards, and by this point, the front of the sarcophagus is about 45 degrees open. You get down behind it and you get your shoulder into it. You manage to stop it from opening any further, but you're unable to close it.
Obviously, it's not my character, but seeing Baldur do that, Cager would jump in.
Okay, so the footsteps are getting louder. If Cager wants to run forward and give Baldur a hand, then we'll just do another straight athletics roll with Cager carrying out an assist, or you can do it the other way around, and Cager can be doing it and Baldur can be assisting. I don't really mind.
What's Cager's stats for strength
Uh,
or athletics?
Cager's athletics is a 313.
A little better.
It's slightly better, isn't it?
Cager's definitely slightly bigger built than Baldur.
But now he's stopped it. She'll hit it just afterwards and hopefully push it back.
I mean, are we still working on the D4, or is it slightly easier with...
I would say, given that you've stopped it, a D3 will get it to close.
So if she uses one of her fortune and rolls...
Do you want to use one of the fortune, or do you want to just give it a...
Well, it's spell rolling 2. Does she get any rerolls, or she got anything for strength?
She's got nothing on brawn. Check. Oh, she gets one extra success or one bonus momentum on a successful athletics check. Yeah, good point. So if you were to if you roll a success, you'll get 2 successes.
Okay, so I'll roll for Bell then. So 2d20.
Okay, so
if you want to do
roll
one, Simon.
And
So
these boots are getting closer. So if
One,
Baldur
that's 2.
okay, so if Baldur wants to roll just 1d20,
We just need
as an
one success. One success, come on. Yes!
okay, you can hear these boots getting louder. And as they get louder, you start to pick out. No, there are a lot more than just 2 sets of feet coming up, coming up there. Yeah. Okay. So you, Cager comes in and grunts something like, let me do it. You keep pushing, and the door slowly closes. And just about shuts. As it's shutting, you can just start to hear the tramp of these boots are really, really close now. So you guys are stood there with your backs against it, and you hear a thud against the sarcophagus lid, and it moves. And it's like you can feel your feet slipping. And then you start to feel pressure on it.
Okay. I am going to call out across them. Has anyone got a dagger they can lose?
I don't even have a dagger, I think.
Allardyce, the dagger wielding.
Allardyce kind of be like, ew, it's a nice dagger.
Wouldn't we have? Yeah, but we'd all have some sort of small dagger, which we just eat with at the very least.
Okay, yeah, no, I go with that. Or I mean, you've got Baldur, you took a dagger out a minute ago and swapped it out for a sword, so you're definitely carrying a dagger.
Okay, right. So I'll take a dagger out and I'll offer it to someone and say, look, wedge this under the statue so it doesn't move anymore.
Okay, I'll run round then. It's either me or Allardyce. We're pretty close. We're both the same distance away.
So Axiom runs out, grabs the dagger, slams it in underneath, probably kind of gives it a bit of a kick to get it wedged under there. And
I'll step back as well.
The dagger wedges completely underneath the statue. There is still pounding coming from the far side of the door.
Can I feel the statue moving though?
Right.
Are you still leaning on it?
Give me. Are you guys still? Yeah. Are you guys still leaning on it as well?
Keep the pressure up on it so that it doesn't move. But I just want to, maybe ease off a little bit to see whether or not it keeps moving.
Okay, let me check this out. Yeah, I had a feeling that was like that. Okay, so that's going to be. Okay. If you guys want to try and stop them, I'm going to give the daggers giving you 2 difficulty is adding 2 difficulty to them trying to force these things trying to force it open. There's definitely movement, and it's starting to slide. If you two want to jump on it and try and force it back, same
can I
rules
add
as
my
before.
weight? As I'm standing there
As you're stood there, there's probably just about enough room for 3 of you to get across the front of this statue and start to push on it. So I need 1d20 from Actian and Baldur, and 2d20 from Cager.
1d20 from me was that.
Yeah, because you're doing an assist.
Oh, look, I've rolled a 1.
No, you haven't. You've rolled a 20 and I've rolled a 1.
Oh, damn.
Okay, I think Cager has got a 13. So that's 2 successes, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. So, and Simon's rolled a 1, which is 2 successes. So that's 4 successes. So they need 6 successes to get this thing open. You managed to keep it shut. Actian's got his back into it, and he's grunting and heaving, and he manages to kick his lamp over.
Yeah.
My
lamp's on top of the rocks. I left it there.
Simon put his down though.
Baldur put his down. You managed to kick a lamp over.
Yeah.
So if it's Baldur's, it's Baldur's. It doesn't set light to everything. The oil doesn't catch light, but you now have slickness underfoot, which is making it an extra difficulties worth of not being able to get your feet on the floor. So you've just about managed to keep it together, but in doing that, you've managed to kick over a lamp, and it's taking all of everybody's effort to keep this door shut.
Whilst that's going on, Genghis is very clearly moving across the room, keeping his back to the wall, not taking his eye off that door at all, or the sarcophagus at all.
Across the open doorway? No, don't worry. Yeah, no.
I wonder why he was moving sides, because that's the best side to shoot into the sarcophagus.
No. It opens from there, Charlie.
Okay.
So I want a better view.
So can I shout that Allardyce to bring rocks? He's got plenty in the middle of the room.
Sorry, yeah, Ollie.
Do I? Because I know how to make blinding sand and burning alcohol.
Yeah.
Did we? I can't remember if we said if I had one of each when we started or not.
I think I've got a feeling we did. I think we talked and we said, okay, yeah, you can have that. And I think, have you got some ingredients to hand?
Well, yeah, that's what I've got, because I've got 3 gods worth of alchemy ingredients.
Okay, I'll give you one of each for the moment, because I think we did say that.
I think that's what we said.
And
then we
then
can sort out that rest of that later.
Yeah, at some point, you can finish making them.
Okay, so Allardyce has a plan.
He'd better be able to communicate it quickly in a high-stress environment.
Don't panic.
Yes.
Don't panic.
Let them out and burn the oil is his plan, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he was already thinking, I've got this fire stuff. Whatever's in there, if it's been in there a while, should be pretty dry. Hopefully it'd catch fire quite easily. Then actually managed to kick over the lamp, and he's like, oh, for goodness. Oh, actually, no, that's even better.
Yeah. As long as I'm not standing in it.
As long as you're not standing in it when he throws a thing. Shout something on the lines of, move out the way. I'm going to set the oil alight. Hopefully that'll give us an advantage, because we're not going to be able to hold the door forever anyway.
Which way are we going to move? I think that's an important instruction.
Just back up away from the oil. It's better we fight them on our terms than they break through and it's on theirs.
Okay, so
I can't remember how burning alcohol works. I looked for it and I kept missing it, I think. So.
Basically, you've got a jug or a container, and if you throw that out, and it's not very difficult to hit a large patch of oil, that will, as it smashes, it will catch fire. If you throw it at whatever comes through the door, then it hits and
That
does
could-
some level of incendiary damage to that. I would say if you want to wait until it steps onto the oil and then throw to hit it.
Yeah.
On a 20, it might not. It might not, but otherwise it will set light to the oil the thing's standing in as well as well as
Cool.
doing it.
Yes, that's what Aladai would prepare to do.
Okay, so the question is everybody else going to agree with Aladai's plan?
If he shouts run, we'll run.
From the back of the room, Genghis shouts out, "Good plan, I like it."
It's going to work from here. Yeah,
I've only got to run faster than you anyway.
yeah, I've got a head start. I'm quite happy to run. Just the question is, have they said where we're going to run to? Which way are we going to run, left or right?
Well, providing out of the way of the oil.
Yeah, in which case, I would say probably
Running towards Grengis is not a good idea with a poison arrow,
no.
but
Right, if you run the other side from where Genghis is now,
yeah,
that's probably the best bet because
Yeah.
that's also away from where the oil is.
so we're going to run off to our right now because we're facing Genghis.
Yeah, so you run towards the east side of the room.
Yep.
Okay, Baldur, you gonna valiantly stand and try and keep this shut, or are you gonna go with them? I'm gonna say Cage is gonna do whatever you decide to do.
I'm going to try and valiantly keep the door closed because if no matter what we're doing, if they get the door open, and if we leave this door, it's going to open, isn't it? Because the dagger on its own is not going to hold.
You're definitely getting that feeling.
Yeah, I'll try and hold the door. I
Okay.
think someone else needs to make the decision about Katya, about Kaja.
Whose idea was it? Aladai?
No,
Yeah.
Make me a persuade roll.
All right. Where's
You're off the
my
hook, Charlie.
persuade?
I have no idea what your persuade stats are, but
Not brilliant.
7.
That is one success.
okay. I am going to say that is enough in this situation to convince Kaja that she needs to run. So,
So,
Kaja's-
Louis, a better option would be let Baldur roll it as well and see who gets the most. You got Baldur saying hold and Aladai
that's-
saying run.
If Baldur wants to try and convince Kaja to stay with him, then yeah, but roll me a persuade check to get Kaja to stay.
No, if she's going to run, I'm going to let her run.
Okay, so Actian yells out to run. Baldur says, "Sod this," and just puts his back against it and digs his feet in. Actian charges off, at which point Kaja just goes, "Yeah, okay," and goes as well. Okay, I want.
I will turn when I get to the stones to face. Yeah, to face
Yeah.
back.
I want Baldur to make me an athletics check.
Okay, hang on a sec. So that'll just be 2d20, won't it?
Yeah. Unless you want to spend Doom.
No, I think that's a failure all told.
Okay. No, not for combat dice. There we
Still
go.
one success though, isn't it?
No, it's
Because you got +2 difficulty for the dagger, but -1 for the oil.
okay.
Yes.
So yeah,
So
at
that's-
least one success.
2 successes. They get, even with the 12, I'm trying to work out what to do. I know what I'm going to do. Right. Okay. So, that is, trust me, considerably more successes than they need. It's going to be 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 8 successes they generate. As the weight comes off, you can hear this grinding noise of the dagger, and Baldur is just flung back. 3 figures step out. I say step, 2 of them sprawl on the floor as suddenly the dagger snaps and the sarcophagus just flies off. The dagger hilt hits the far wall at fairly high speed because the weight of the mechanism opening it and these things pushing it is huge. The figures that step out, before we get onto the fact that 2 of them have sprawled, are a good 7 feet tall each. They are massive. They wear the same armor as the statues. They have cold eyes, which is similar to the skin they have, which is dead and translucent, but not rotting. It's dry. It's kind of dry and desiccated, but also translucent. And they are genuinely pretty hideous looking things. They are genuinely scary looking things to look at. The central one kind of pushed forwards with his shield, as the other two go sprawling on the floor, sliding on the oil that went down earlier. They land on the floor. The other one just like stands there and raises the spear to challenge it. Behind them, you are fairly sure you see more of them as well. This is not just 3 of them. There are more coming in from behind. We are now in combat. Actian, I'm going to say Genghis probably is going to be the first person to.
You think so? Not somebody holding a flask.
Oh, that's a good way. Yeah, okay. Either you guys decide. Either Aladai or Genghis can go first.
It's a dead heat.
It just makes sense for either Genghis, who's muted at the moment, but either Genghis, who stood there with an arrow knocked, or he's waiting to let fly, or Aladai, who's hustled through, got out the oil, and is ready to go for it. Which one of you wants to go first?
I personally, Aladai, wouldn't want to shoot through fire because that would probably make it more difficult.
Thanks for pointing that out.
So yeah, I think I'll. I mean, the thing is, as it swings open anyway, I'd probably have the first sight of it anyway before.
Yeah,
Aladai would see him slide out anyway. So as soon as I got vision of one, I'd loose.
I reckon
you say swing. Sorry, you say swing open. It technically it's swing because it's still on a hinge, but there was nothing slow about it once. Once Baldur was the only person trying to balance this thing on oil, there was just too much, and it sprang open. But yeah, point still the same. Sorry, Ollie.
No, that's what I was just saying. I think the arrow would have got there faster than the alcohol burning, even if we did do it at the same time. So
yeah, I'll give you a free dice because, in fact, I'll give you a free exploit. So you get 1 bonus die. If you hit, you get a bonus damage as well to it.
Fantastic. So that's 3d20 then.
Yep.
Oh, that is. I can never remember these. 332. That is 2, correct?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's 2, which is fine. I'm not going to get this thing to parry. I think he's come through the door. Oh, one quick rules thing, which I found out about since last session, is to parry always. You can't spend for a parry with momentum. You have to spend with doom. So obviously, if you've got a shield which drops the cost down by 2, you don't have to spend. But when you get to the point where if you've got a shield and it's your 3rd parry of the round, at that point you need to spend doom, not momentum on it.
I have deflection as well, so I've got shield and deflection, so I've got 3.
Yeah, but if you're unlucky enough to be trying to parry 4 hits a round, you have to spend doom. You can't just spend momentum. Okay, so 2. So you gain 1 momentum from that.
And I gain a bonus momentum for not using my minor action.
You do, and because you have a
surprised.
Because you had an exploit action, you likewise you gain 1 extra CD to your damage.
Okay, now remember this is the poisoned arrow.
Yeah, the poisoned arrow does no extra damage on its own, but it has a
stun effect, isn't it?
Nope. It does
stagger.
What's the word I'm looking for? No. Give me half a sec. Persistent.
I thought
it has persistent 2, which means that for every effect you roll, see if I can find persistent. For every effect you roll, target will suffer 2 damage at the start of the round. So if you roll, so this round it will do 2 extra damage. Next round, if you roll 1 effect, it will do 2 extra damage. If you roll 2 effects, it will do 2 damage next round and 2 damage the round after.
Gotcha.
So, roll me your damage.
So this is so it's 2 extra damage this turn, yeah?
That's because of roll your damage dice.
So base of 5 plus 1 for the exploit.
Yeah. Okay. So roll 6. So you get
6 damage and 2 effects.
6 and 2 effects. So okay. So that does so that's 6 damage. The 2 effects are you don't get any other effects on that. Okay. So that does right. So in total, that's going to be 8 because actually, is that 2 extra this round? It's not 2 extra this round. It's 2 extra next round. Okay. Right. Okay. So the arrow finds its way through this thing's it gets soak dice because it's got a shield. But that does nothing at all. Aren't I pleased I built those dice? Okay, so your arrow kind of finds its way past the past the shield through the armor as this thing kind of bursts forwards and stops, raises its spear, and this arrow just goes clunk straight into it.
Is that a hit location?
These are toughened. You don't need to roll a hit location. They just have a standard soak.
Okay.
But right, so
spear to an archery fight.
Okay, so I need to remember that it takes damage next round and the round after. Okay, so we're moving on to unless you want to spend that momentum on anything specific from that attack.
Yes, as I have 2 momentum, I think I'm going to fire another shot at it.
Okay, raises the difficulty by 1.
Yep.
But yeah, so that'll cost you both your momentum, but you just get a second attack.
Is that still with the 320, or is that 2 now?
I'd say that's down to 2 because you then got to draw and fire.
Can you attack the same target? Or is it a secondary target?
No, same target.
You can fire at the same target. Swift attack. It's swift action. You get another action at 1 raised difficulty.
What I will do for this one though is I will add a volley.
Okay. Yep.
So that does give me 3d20.
Yep. And it does the same thing of adding 1 bonus dice of all.
3.
That's 3. Okay. So you only needed 1. No, you needed 2.
So that's 1 momentum. Actually, so I'll throw 1 away.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm not going to. No, that's 2 momentum. It costs you 2 momentum to do a swift action with the same weapon.
Yeah, but I earned 1 back. So.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry. Yes, that makes.
So I've dropped 1, puts me down to 1.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. Okay.
So I now roll 6 combat die.
Combat dice again. This is with a normal arrow, though. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So another 5
Another
points
5
of damage. Just
Oh,
another
okay.
wound. Oh no, he's got soak this time, hasn't he?
He had soak last time as well. He's got armor. He's definitely wearing armor, unless you want to spend.
Oh, I could use that 1 momentum to bypass 2 points.
Can bypass 2 points of armor with that 1 momentum if you want.
That will guarantee 2 wounds on him, then, wouldn't it?
It won't guarantee 2 wounds on him.
Will it not?
No, he's got armor. The armor's fairly thick.
Okay, but he's already done 6, so I only need to do 4 this time to do a second wound. So, yeah, I'm going to use that.
No. He had armor last round as well. He took 2 points of damage last round. He's got 4 points of soak.
He took 2 points of damage.
He took 2 points of damage. He's got soak armor. He's got armor soak.
No, I'll save that for the guys then. So,
okay, that will do. So that will only do 1 point of damage on him.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. No, that's fine. Okay. So he kind of looks down as the face is not overly expressionful. He looks down into where the arrow lands, and another one just goes clunk in next to it. Not quite as deep as the last one. Who's up next? I'm guessing Aladai.
Yes.
Okay, there are 2 sprawled. One of them in oil. One of them is going to be in the oil. On the floor. So if you want to make a ranged attack, you can try and hit the one on the floor, unless you want to go for one of the others.
I mean, he's just going for the oil in general, really.
Okay. Make me a ranged attack, because if you manage to hit, then you hit this guy.
Yeah. Cool, that's off the table. 1, 2, what's the range? 111, so that's 2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes. You only needed 1, so I will sling you out a momentum. The damage on burning alcohol is 2 incendiary, spread of 1, 3 dice. So you do 3 dice worth of damage on it.
Right.
Hang on half a tick. Incendiary. Target is set ablaze, gains the burning condition for a number of rounds equal to the effects rolled. So you want to be rolling effects. At the end of each target's turns, it suffers 3 damage. Suffers 2 damage. It was incendiary 2, wasn't it? Yeah. So it's going to suffer 2 damage at the end of each round, and the same amount of mental damage. Hell's teeth. It ignores soak. Any effects rolled on this additional damage increase the number of rounds your character is aflame. Damn, I need to start using fire against you guys. Right, okay.
I got 2 6s and a 2.
You got 2 6s and a 2, so that's 4 points of damage and 2 effects. So that's going to be
additional 2 rounds.
Super round times 2 at the moment. Okay, so you did. Sorry, how much did you did? 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage, yeah.
Okay, right. That drops him. Likewise, you set the fire. You set the oil on fire. Spread do, for fuck's sake. Oh my life. It has a spread of 1. For each effect generated, roll X additional hit locations. These additional hit locations suffer half the attack's final damage, rounding up. In the case of non-player characters with hit location, it takes additional damage X times. So
they're not completely alike in certain areas.
So you rolled 2. It was 2, wasn't it?
2 effects, 4 damage.
2 effects. Yeah, so that's going to be another 4 damage. Okay. This thing lets out the most blood-curdling, horrendous howl. And the oil on the floor catches light. It is going to burn for. I'm going to go. It's only going to burn for 1 round. It's yeah, on its own, but it will stay on fire for that round. I am likewise going to do 2 points of incendiary damage from that. Crap. Okay, well, that was no more effects, which was good for it, but it does take a further 4 points of damage.
And the other one lying in the oil, just like that land.
Interestingly, it still hasn't taken any wounds. It's not far off dead, but it hasn't taken any wounds. Okay, so yeah, so that one's caught fire. You've bang. There's this huge blaze, and as it's trying to struggle to its feet, it's just engulfed in an inferno.
How's it not taken a wound, Louis?
It took 4 damage from. Actually, no, it's still all in. Technically speaking, that's one attack. It took 4 from one and 4 from the other.
So-
Yes. Oh, you're right. Okay, so that's taken a wound. It's still only taken 1 wound, but it has taken a wound. Okay, so yeah, so it's trying to struggle to its feet, but there is it's struggling deeply. Okay, who wants to go next? There are 3 of you.
What happens to the other one that's about to land in the burning oil?
It
Or
slipped
has?
over. It hasn't. It didn't land in the oil. It landed next to the oil. I think I said it went over, and only one of them landed in the oil.
And the one that's standing up with the arrows in it hasn't come through the door yet?
It's come through the door, but it hasn't got to act yet.
Okay.
It's got to go through the oil as well, right?
But it is wounded.
If it heads, it's been hit. It's not been wounded, but it has been. It's taken damage. If it heads off to the east, it won't have to go through the oil. The oil is kind of mostly in front of the statue. Actually, you know what?
My line of sight.
Yeah, I will make an acrobatics check on its roll to see if it can get through the oil without getting caught on fire
Or falling over.
or falling over. Yeah. I think once it's on fire, it's anyway. Yeah. Who wants to go next? There are 3 of you that haven't gone yet.
I would say I'm going to grab my shield because my lamp's on top of the rocks anyway. So I've got my shield and sword ready to attack. I'm not running into the fire.
Look at them.
Okay, so you're just going to get your sword and shield ready, and if one of them gets to you,
once we start to get a bit further from the fire, then I'll attack. I don't want to be in the fire.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Paige is probably going to do the same or something very similar.
Okay, what I'll say is, so you're over on the east side of the room. If it comes out to you, then yeah, no, that's not a problem.
Or I can rush it.
To you, you can attack it. Okay, Baldur, what are you?
So exactly where am I? How close am I to this fire?
I've got the fire kind of just in front of, but mostly to the left of that statue. And I've got you managing to control your momentum about the time you get to the second statue.
Okay. I'm going to see if I can stand up.
I think make me an acrobatics check, and if you make it, you're already standing.
Five out of 10.
I'm pretty sure. Is that 2?
That's 2, I think.
I will have you a
Did you say
momentum.
athletics or acrobatics?
Acrobatics.
Yeah, 12 and a 1. So yeah, that's definitely.
Okay, you have a momentum from that. All right. Yeah. So you've managed to stay on your feet. What do you want to do?
Okay, I'm going to ready my sword. The one that's sort of like partially been burnt to a crisp. He's not anywhere close, is he?
No,
Who's closest one to me?
he's the far side. The one closest to you is the other one that's sprawled on the floor.
Okay, I'm going to hit him.
Okay, so you leap forwards. He is unprepared. He doesn't have guard.
And he's prone.
Yeah, I think prone does mean that he doesn't have guard, basically. I'm trying to remember. Does it make it one more? Does it make it one more difficult to parry? I can't remember.
Or does it mean he can't parry if he's sprawled on the floor?
I don't know that it does. I know it was slightly odd. Conditions: prone.
Drop prone, medium dodge prone, ranged attacks against a prone character at medium range or further are made at +1 difficulty and they gain +2 soak. Melee attacks and range attacks made at close range gain movement.
Okay.
So it's not any harder, and if he hits, he gains a momentum for it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to parry for this guy because he's down. He's just trying to start to get up, and Baldor's on top of him.
You're going to use your momentum as well.
Okay, so if I spend a point of momentum, that'd be me rolling 3d20, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, yes, I'm going to spend the point of momentum that I've just won.
Okay. I'll roll me 3 dice. Oh.
They're all successes because I got 13 too.
Okay, so 3 successes. You only needed 1. I will pass you 2 back.
+1 for being prone.
Oh, yeah. No, hang on. I've given that to Charlie. You need to give that one to Simon.
Oh, I don't know if I can I?
No.
No. I can. No, I can't. That was undecided, it says. What am I doing now?
There you go. It's asked if I can steal it. There we go. Right.
Only if I can make the window big enough to get to the box. There's a video right over the top of it. It's better.
Hey, there we go. Right. Yeah.
Louis got momentum.
You stole momentum.
I don't remember why I've got. Oh, because I stole it. Yeah.
Yeah, that you just told.
Thank you. Okay. Right. Yeah. If you want to roll for damage, you can. You can add momentum to increase your damage roll. You can hang on to it. You can use it for piercing. Because, like I say, the guy's not going to manage to use his shield,
You can
but
use it for re-rolling.
he has got a.
Okay, so I've got a damage of 5. That means I roll 5d6, correct?
Yep.
Or a CD.
Oh, bugger. What have I done there?
Have you got. Simon, did you get the macros working?
I did. Oh, it should be 5 combat dice, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Bugger.
I'm not
if
sure
you-
what that's done.
That's given you 1 effect and 2. Basically, it's a 2 and an effect. Have you got? I think you've got no mercy, haven't you?
Um,
Or have you?
I don't think I have.
You can re-roll.
Yes, I have got no mercy. But it just says re-roll a d20 when making a melee attack.
Yeah. So if you, it's a D20.
It's a d20, not a d6.
Okay,
You can use one of your momentum to re-roll damage.
that's true. If
Yeah,
you
I
spend
think
1
I'll-
momentum, you can re-roll all 5. Or
Any number of damage.
it's any
dice.
number of damage. Yeah.
So he gets to
So-
choose.
If I
So
so what's that getting me in a minute? So I've got 1 effect.
All right. You're using a sword. The effect's going to count as a 1 because the only effect that a sword has is a parry. So that's
Yeah.
3. That's basically 3 straight damage there. So if you re-rolled 3 dice, hopefully you'd score more than you have done there.
Yeah, spend a momentum.
Okay, so
roll 3 dice.
I'll spend the momentum. Reroll 3 combat dice, yeah?
Yep.
Is that 1 momentum for as many combat dice as you want?
Yep,
I think so.
that's what it says.
Let me check
Okay,
the momentum.
guys, go.
Let me check the momentum spend. Re-roll.
Re-roll damage.
Player may re-roll any number of damage dice from the character's current attack for 1 momentum.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so that gives you
5.
another 2. So that gives you 5 damage in total. If you want to, you could spend some of that to bypass some of its armor. Because, like I say, it's got 4 armor.
So it's going to do 1 damage.
So you're going to do 1 damage. If you spend a momentum, that will do 3 damage. If you spend both your momentum, you'll do 5 damage, which will be enough to wound it.
I'm going to be greedy and spend all my momentum.
What do the R's mean, Louis? It says penetration 1R.
Repeat means you can repeat it.
All right. So you can spend 1 momentum. The damage inflicted by the current attack ignores any amount of soak equal to twice the amount of momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of them will kill 2 soak.
One of them will kill 2 soak.
So you get 3 damage instead of 1.
Okay. So you've done but you spent 2 points, so he's done 5 damage.
Yeah.
So
And a wound.
yeah, just for flavour. Yeah, you managed to get it right in the middle of right at the back of the knee, and the blade goes in a good long way, just like find that weak spot in the armor, and just slash straight through it.
Yeah.
Action. You or Cage's up next.
I got my shield out and got ready.
You got your shield out and got ready. What's Cager going to do?
Is she going to charge in with her axe? She didn't have any weapons out when she ran away at the time, as far as I know. So can she run back with her weapons?
I would say there's a difference between putting away weapons and just pulling out your weapons, especially if you're Cager. I'm guessing they're fairly
accessible.
Fairly accessible, easy to get hold of.
At least
yeah. So yeah, Cager can, if she wants to, just run in. She can either attack the one that's prone that Baldor's just attacked, or the one that Genghis has put 2 arrows into.
I don't know. I think she go for the one that through the door.
Doug's mic'd again.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just saying, I don't think she'd move that far into the fire, would she? She'd probably take whatever's first.
It doesn't have to be that far into the fire. So the fire's slightly to the left, and there's one in that. The one in the middle is stood just outside the fire, and the one slightly to the right of him has gone down. This is from his point on screen to the right. Yeah. So the fire's to the left. The one on the floor that Baldor's just managed to hack into his leg is on the right.
And he's not in the fire, is he?
No. So she wouldn't have to get
first one.
She wouldn't have to get into the fire to attack the only one that's standing. And she wouldn't necessarily put herself in any danger from the one that's prone at the moment.
I think she'd go for the nearest one, the first one she came to.
I think Cage is more likely to go for the biggest thing possible.
Yeah, that was my thought, but I'm not.
It's laying on the floor.
No, the biggest one's in the door.
Yeah.
The biggest one's the one that's standing up.
Go on then. Go for the big one.
Okay. Who wants to roll for Cager? I'm guessing a melee score's fairly reasonable. It's a 13-3.
Are we going to put a momentum on it or not?
Does she get extra anyway?
Let me check. I don't think she gets anything extra to the roll. What's she got? She's got deflection. She's got no mercy, which means she can re-roll. Yeah, she can re-roll 2d20 when attacking. She can spend 1 momentum to gain 2 dice.
Okay. I'll put my momentum in for her, which is 4d20.
Okay, so we'll say this thing is distracted so much by looking down at the 2 arrows you've sunk into it that she gets an extra. So she'll gain an extra 2 dice off that because she just times her attack to coincide with it looking down. And the fire to its immediate left would also probably distract it quite a bit.
So 4d20 then.
4d20, she can re-roll 2 of them.
And what's her score?
I think she's
13.
I think I said 13-3. So if you roll those 2 14s.
How many successes would we need though?
You've got 2 successes now. So
you'd only need 1 success, but every extra success is momentum. I know there's a chance you're going to roll a 20. But you didn't.
That's 4.
So that's 4 successes. So she gets 3 momentum back from that.
And that will go out to the damage, possibly.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna give these to Dougie. You gave her your 1. She gets 3 back, so I'll give you 2. Because I suddenly realised because Belle's not here, I can't drop the momentum straight onto there. Okay.
So what's her damage die on probably the axe?
Damage with the axe is 6, intense and vicious.
Okay, so 6 combat die first. Ow. I would drop one of them momentum
Okay.
and
Reroll 3.
reroll 3.
I mean, that is 6 damage right there.
Yeah, I'd still do it though.
Yep. No, that's all right. So reroll 3 of those.
That's better.
So that's 6, 8, 9.
10. Oh yeah, 9.
Yeah.
So they got a soak of 4. So that's a wound anyway.
That is actually, I will tell you, that's a kill.
Oh, fantastic.
This
That
guy
is
did a good job, didn't he?
He's standing up. He should get his 2 dice soak.
But should he?
Yeah, because he's got a shield.
If I spend a point of momentum, I bypass 2 anyway.
Yeah. If you spend a point of momentum, that will kill him.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. He's gone.
Okay. Right. This thing collapses in, somebody described to me this thing going down.
It's almost like the 2 arrows have struck him both in the abdomen, and he's almost shocked from that. Then all of a sudden, burning comes up the front of him as this fireball just erupts. And as he's looking at the fire, from nowhere, Cager just swings this axe straight across his throat, almost like he doesn't see it coming, and this head just launches off.
Okay. Right.
Now, diplomacy.
What I will tell you is, diplomacy worked.
No, that was tact.
Actually, that was that one.
Are you going to spend the other momentum, Doug, and do the second attack on the prone man?
Hang on. What I will tell you is, you can still hear other sounds in the corridor behind. There are these 3 were not alone.
Yeah,
and Cajun will hear that even over the roaring of the fire and the screaming of the.
Would you be very intent on whittling them down?
I think she'd probably back up to go shoulder to shoulder with Baldur, if she could.
Yeah. No, that's all good. So the only person that hasn't actually done anything yet, and I'm not saying you have to, but at the moment is Actian.
Yeah, well, I did run away first.
Yeah, no.
And I got oil on my shoes, and I wanted to get my shield out.
No. That's fine. That's fine.
So I'm assuming I couldn't make it back.
So
that was my assumption, but I would never get back there.
Yeah, no. That's fine. I am looking at this one that is on fire, and thinking
it's going to die.
It's not an attack.
You know what? It is going to get up. It is going to get up. I'm just thinking about what this thing is. It is going to get up, and it is going to stagger. It's wounded. But it is going to stagger and probably try and attack Cager as she steps backwards. I don't think it's going to do a lot, if I'm honest, because it's going to need 3 in order to hit her, and that is not a 3. So yeah, no, it kind of stands, and you can see it tottering, but by sheer force of will, it heaves its shield up and gets the spear and tries to lunge for Cager, and even there's no way She just like the sword comes across, bang, just knocks the spear tip out of the way as it lunges. The one that is on the floor, do you have to spend a? Give me half a moment. I think it's a minor. Is it a minor action to stand? It's a minor action to stand. Okay, yeah. So it manages to stand. Means it can't regain guard because it stood. Okay, so it's going to stand and it is going to attack. Hell, it's going to attack Baldur the best it can from a wounded position. What's it got? Melee is an 11-3. Oh, damn. Damn.
It stabs its own meat.
You know what? I'm. Nah, it's
already burning, isn't it?
I think its leg's going to give way under it. Actually, the knife. Oh yeah, no, I said it needed. What did I say?
11-3.
3.
It had an 11-3. So okay, so it manages to get a hit on Baldur unless Baldur wants to try and parry it, which actually you can do without a doom spend because you're using a sword.
Yeah, I'll try and parry it.
Okay, right. Roll me a parry.
So that'll
You've only got to get one success on your parry.
That'll be 2d20, won't it?
Yeah.
And that's a 2 and 15.
Okay. 2 and a 15. That is.
No. I've not rolled that.
Oh.
It's
That's his
skills
stats.
at.
I was going to say that's got to be a.
I've rolled a 2 and a 6.
That's 3 successes. You actually gain momentum from that. You gain 2 momentum because it only got 1. Yeah, you needed 1. You got 3. Yeah. Okay. So it tries to stab at you, and its leg goes under it where you've managed to catch it behind the knee. And it topples down. I am going to make it make an acrobatics check, which
Let's see if it lands in burning oil or not.
To see whether or not I can stay out of the burning oil, which is going to be an agility and movement. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. It needs an 8. It gets 1 success. It topples over and rolls, but barely stays away from the oil. But it does manage to stay away from the oil. Okay. Another 3 of these. In fact, no. Another 4 of these things, 2 wide, 2 deep, appear in the mouth of the statue.
See the fire and destruction are like, nope, and turn back.
No, they do not.
No, worth a shot.
They get the packet of cigarettes out and light them. You got them smoke.
The one lying on the floor goes, I've got a light. Yeah, so there's you can see a block of 4 more arriving at the entrance to the statue. Beginning of a new combat round because they don't get a chance to act this round. They are they're at the back. Somebody throw a momentum in because whatever's in the pool's in the pool.
2 damage.
Yeah. So top of the round. Well, the one that had been poisoned is dead anyway. The other one expires due to fire. I'm not even gonna. It takes 2 per round. Actually, does it take 2 per round, or does it take? Hang on a second. It's sentry.
Or
No. Okay, right. Let me reverse that because it could be better. It takes 2 for each effect.
And there were 2
And
effects.
it takes 2 combat dice for each effect.
so you have to re-roll it.
It's not only on fire. It's on fire for another 2 rounds as well. So this thing is This thing is dead, but carrying on burning.
And he's not laying in the oil, so now they've got a burning wall.
Yeah.
This one, no, this one is still lying in.
Right.
This is the one that. Oh no,
It
this is
got
the
up,
one
got
that.
out, and
This
fell
is the one
over.
that got up, fell out, and fell over. Yes.
So you've got burning oil and a burning body now.
And the body's going to keep burning even though the oil's going to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, the burning. Well, no, the body kind of falls at Cage's feet.
Yeah.
At which point, I'm guessing she does step back as it just like
Starts singing.
drops to its knees and topples over sideways. Okay. There is one corpse on fire in front of Cager. There is one corpse kind of just in front of the sarcophagus, and its lid is now kind of completely open. There is one that has just toppled back and is lying probably against the corpse of its comrade. That's why it didn't roll into the fire, was it was stopped by the headless remains of the one that Cager slew.
Where did the head go?
It bounced somewhere around the room off towards the left. It's probably on fire in the corner.
Okay.
Okay, and there are two just preparing to leave the sarcophagus. And there's another two behind that as well, further down the tunnel.
So they look like going through the oil or over the burning bodies?
One of them will go. No, the burning body is slightly further out.
Yeah.
The burning body is slightly further out. They're not moving yet, but well, they're stomping up the corridor. They haven't got into the room yet.
Okay.
That was their action on the last turn, was to get to the point where you can see them, and they're at the front of the sarcophagus. But yeah, so when they get out, they will get out. So the only one that is still the only one that's still out there that isn't dead yet is the one that's lying on its side with an injured leg, having toppled into the. Damn, it was wounded. You shouldn't have needed to make that parry roll, but it doesn't matter because it didn't cost you anything to do it, and you actually earned momentum out of it. But hey, right. Top of the action. Who wants to go first?
Got a funny
I
feeling
will.
Genghis will do. Or, yeah.
I will if we need someone to go first. So, what's in front of me? We've got the one on the floor that just attacked me. That's still alive.
Yes.
The
others are still in the doorway of the sarcophagus. They haven't come out of the doorway of the sarcophagus yet.
Okay, I'm going to attack the one in front of me that's still alive. Then.
Okay. It doesn't have guard. It is. That was it. We said it's no more difficult to hit, but it takes 1 extra combat dice of damage on a successful hit because it's prone. So,
Right.
yeah, make me an attack roll. You have momentum if you want to spend it.
I'm going to spend 1 momentum.
Okay.
So that's 3d20. Yes.
Yep. I'm guessing that's 3 successes.
What are we? Melee.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Under brawn.
It's under brawn. No, it's not under brawn.
Top
under
right.
agility.
Scan the skill.
It's under agility. 2 and a 13.
2 and a 13. Okay, so yeah, so that's 3. So you take 2 momentum. I've just dropped those in your pool.
What about his extra one for actually hitting them? You said.
Oh yeah, because they're prone.
That's 1 extra damage.
Oh,
No,
one
it's
extra
not.
damage.
It's 1 extra momentum.
Was it 1 extra momentum? Okay. Okay. Sorry, I forgot that. Okay, so yeah, you managed to hit it. You can roll me damage, which I think you were doing
5.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll me 5 damage.
That's 3.
That's
Yeah.
3.
You're chucking a momentum in?
For 1 momentum, you can re-roll 3 of those because you got 3 of those dice did nothing.
Yeah. So I get to re-roll 3 combat dice, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think Baldor's got.
I did help look.
Baldor's got no mercy, but that's all. And that would actually, you know what? Baldor has no mercy. Do you want to re-roll? We should have spotted that. Do you want to re-roll
Reroll the
that
16.
16? Because it might earn you a momentum. It does. Okay, that earns you another momentum. So we'll take that. Actually, so you need to spend one momentum for the re-roll. So we'll take that as that one that dice has just earned.
Okay, good. I've just transferred that momentum over, Louis. Sorry.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were on 3 anyway.
I did have 4, and then I moved one over to take it down to
Okay,
3.
that's all right. I'll give you one back then. Right, so
Are you going to use penetration, spend a momentum to ignore soak to kill it, or will it die anyway?
So you're up to 5 damage. This thing's wearing 4 worth of armor.
That's a lot of armor.
Yeah, you could spend. I mean, your options are: you could go with what you do. You could spend another momentum to re-roll another 2 dice because that's still possible. So you could re-roll your damage dice again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that.
It's not hard against it.
That's a good point, actually.
Is it not?
No, it's not a repeat. Penetration is, but
Penetration is, but re-roll damage isn't.
no.
Okay.
You're going to do it once.
Okay. Right. So,
Or 1 point of momentum per point of damage.
yeah, you could spend 1 momentum for each point of damage. Although, if you're going to do that, you're probably better spending a point of momentum on penetration so that it gets past your armor. So you've done 5 damage at the moment. If you spend 2 points of momentum, you will wound. You will kill it.
Do it.
Let's
If you
do
spend
that
2
then,
points
because
of
that's one
momentum.
less thing to worry about then, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 points of momentum.
Okay. That's enough to do another wound. So that one is dead. Okay. You could roll for a swift attack and attack one of the ones standing in the doorway. It would probably not worth you doing it, though. It would be spend 2 momentum. It's 2. Is it 2? It is 2 momentum for a swift attack, isn't it? Swift action.
No,
Yeah.
I think that's for range, isn't it?
No.
I think it's 1 for melee.
No, it's 2 momentum for a swift attack. It's 1 if you're using a different weapon.
Ah, that's the one.
Yeah, but it's still 1 more difficult, isn't it? It's that way round.
Yes.
Yeah. So it would cost you both your momentum to attack one of these things with a sword, which you could do if you wanted to.
Anywhere, is it? No, I'll leave the momentum alone, and that way other people can use it if they need to.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I will.
Okay.
I'm going to draw a poisoned arrow.
Okay. Make me an. What did I decide I was going to use for this? Let me have a quick look at your
I mean,
sheet.
do these look as armored as the others?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Absolutely. I am going to say make me an. I was going to say make an acrobatics check. Oh, is that all going to be a ranged weapons check? Make me an acrobatics check to get that arrow out without it taking you an entire minor action to do so.
Okay.
Because you've got it in that beautifully crafted sheath, which
Stops you cutting yourself. Stops you going ill all of a sudden.
Success.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get the arrow out, get it knocked. Make me an attack roll.
I'm going to volley as well.
Okay.
So 3d20.
Yeah.
Boom.
Ooh.
That is 3 successes.
Okay. You only need 1. I am not going to get this thing to parry, but it does get 2. Yeah, it will get soak from its shield.
So
Okay, yeah.
3 momentum then.
Yeah. 2 momentum.
3.
Oh, yeah, because you didn't use your minor action because it. Yeah, no, fair
Marksman.
enough. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 6 combat dice. That's good because I'm using the poison.
Roll the other 2.
I will re-roll 2 of them for 1 point of momentum.
Because we can have a maximum of 7, wasn't it, Dobby?
At the end of the round, you can have a maximum of 6.
6, whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, so another 2 combat die. Very nice.
Okay, so that's 6 points of damage and 3 effects.
I'm then going to put 2 momentum
For penetration?
for penetration.
I thought you might. Okay, so that's going to drop it from... It gets 2 dice of soak, which is going to knock one of those down. So it takes 5 points of damage.
Wound!
Which is enough to wound it. And it's also going to take...
3 effects.
So
Yeah, it's 3
dice, is it?
effects. So it's...
Stagger.
So it's going to take 2 per round for 3 rounds. Okay, and it's wounded already. Okay, yeah, thunk. It gets the poisoned arrow buried up to the haft of it and staggers on its feet.
No, I'm not going to try and swift action this one. I'll leave the momentum for someone else.
Okay, who else would like to use that momentum? Or not use the momentum and just attack?
Can I get out on Cage's shoulder, beside her, leave
Right.
me an opinion to swing, but not go into the fire and be ready for when they step out?
Yeah. If
So it's like a hold action.
I think we're better off blocking them in, to be honest.
Do you reckon I'm better heading one side of the burning body in the fire, the oil, to try and hit someone?
So Baldur is
Standing back behind the prone man.
Baldur's Baldur attacked and killed the one on the ground, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's off to one side of this, kind of just in front of it. So you are it's getting a little bit congested right by it. But yeah, you could step in.
Without blocking somebody else, would I be standing in the oil to attack?
I'll tell you what I'd let you do. If you make a... actually, no, I'm not even going to do... What I would let you do is if you want to... No, it's going to be a D2 difficulty test. I shouldn't do that. That's not going to... I'm trying to work out the best way of handling this. If you get... Yeah, no, I think I was going to say you could... As part of as an action, if you make a D1 athletics roll, you can push the body into the fire, which will clear up space out the front. Whether or not you want to clear up that space out the front, I don't know. If you end up right in front of those doors with Baldur where he is now, Cager will not be able to.
That's what I'm saying. I want to be on her shoulder, so as they come out, yeah.
Do you want Cager to go next then?
Might as well, yeah. I don't want to block.
Make more sense.
Yep.
Unless what does Aladai want to do this turn?
That's a good question.
I asked it.
He's done his fire thing, and now he's kind of like, he'd probably go round to wherever there's not someone to just kind of keep them within a certain parameter to stop them getting out. Keep their area of movement restricted.
He could stop. Where Doug's drawn that fire is slightly more restrictive than I'd have had it, but he could come around the the left-hand side of the pyre.
Yep.
To just kind of make sure that he's in the way, if you really want him to be in the way of these 7-foot undead giants. But yeah, no, that's
That kind of thing.
okay. Okay, so yeah, so he comes round to the left-hand side of that pyre, and he's kind of there. What weapons he got?
His dagger, and he also has a saber.
Okay, has he got a shield or not?
He has got a shield. Yeah, he's got one of them too.
So just so that I know, has he got?
Yeah,
dagger and
he'd have.
shield or sword.
He'd
and
have dagger and shield because he has already got his dagger out.
shield? Okay.
I know he only uses a sword if he's on a camel, so yeah, he's got a dagger.
Oh yeah, yours is the cavalry saber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if Cage is going to attack, and step in front of the doors to the in front of the opening of the sarcophagus, somebody want to roll me an attack?
Well, as you're not attacking Disco Ollie, why don't you do it?
Sure.
Do you want to? Do you? Okay, I was going to say, do you want to take one of those momentum? But if you don't want to, that's fine.
That's worth 2d20, so yeah, definitely do it.
Now this one has, okay, it has a shield and it also has a spear. So, quick rules thing. So, spears have reach 3. Shields and swords and probably axes have reach 2.
Daggers 1.
You are attacking somebody that has a longer weapon than you.
+1 difficult.
Raises the difficulty for every difference in attack.
That's +1.
So if Aladai wants to leap in there with his dagger, he's at a +3. He's at a +2. So it's going to be a difficulty 3 attack rather than
Could
difficulty
he
1
attack
attack.
the spear?
No. However,
Drop
if
it
you
down.
spend momentum to break guard, it puts you inside the spear's
Reach. Yeah, that makes
reach,
sense.
which then means it is more difficult to parry against further attacks.
And it makes it harder for him to attack you, doesn't it?
Does it? I've got a feeling it does. It definitely makes it harder to parry.
Theory it should, because you're closer than their weapons.
Yeah.
You broke their optimal range.
Yeah, I think
Carry
it
on
does.
anyway, and I'll have a look
Yeah.
at the rules.
Yeah.
In which case, we will use a momentum for Cager.
Okay. So the other thing about Cager is if you spend 1 momentum, you get 2 extra dice.
Exactly.
So roll me 4d20.
I will do. 1, 2. That's 1 success and 1 miss. And that's another success and another success. So
Okay,
that's
so
3.
3 successes. Okay. That puts out. I'll drop them in your pool. So that. Right. Okay. So that was a difficulty 2 attack. It got 3 successes. It is going to parry, which it doesn't pay for because it is using a shield. So I get to run this thing's parry. Level 3. Which is 1 success, which is all it needed.
It is.
So yeah, Cager comes around,
Blast.
swings, and it just gets the shield in the way, and the blow falls full on the shield. I'm sure I'm doing this wrong, but hey, that's the way we're playing it tonight. Okay. Cager can spend 1 momentum to attack with a sword at a raised difficulty. But
We'll leave that because then that's going to be 4 as well, isn't it?
yeah.
It's not a difficulty, Louis. If the defender's guard has been lost, the attacking.
Oh, read what you're reading, but in this case, the defender's guard hasn't been lost. But yeah, sorry.
Okay, if the defender's guard had been lost,
Yeah.
the attacker gains a D20 for every point of reach less than the defender's.
Oh,
So if Cage has got a reach of 2 and his spears are 3, then it's not a reduced difficulty, it's an extra D20.
an extra D20.
Because you're
Okay.
inside his spear.
Which is even better because you also get the chance to gain momentum from that as well.
The downside is you've got to make a successful attack in order to be able to break guard.
Correct.
Yeah, which in this case didn't happen. But yeah, no, that's
So, we'll leave that one because that'd be
okay. So she swings in with the axe, it clangs and goes back into combat pose. Okay, which I think
I shall have a go now.
okay.
Left. So is there room for me to get in there? That's the question. If the fire's gone.
Just about.
So I can go around beside Cage now and attack the same one.
You can attack the other one.
The other
There's
one.
Two of
I'll
them.
take the other one
There's
then.
2 of them in the doors. Yeah.
I'll take the other one then.
Okay.
So can I pinch a point of momentum off someone? And do a 20.
Have I still got any, Charlie? Yeah, go on, you nick some off me.
Yeah, just put one in.
Okay.
It's
If you
3.
throw one of yours out, Simon. So 3d20, Charlie.
Yeah. That's not looking brilliant, but that is.
Have you got a no mercy there?
Have I got no mercy?
Have
No.
you got no mercy?
No.
Bugger.
Oh no. Is that 2 and a complication?
That is
That's a 1 and a complication.
a 1 and a complication.
No, it's a 2. It's 2.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
3-14, yeah.
Okay. So 2 is, and you're using
Sword.
a sword. So
Reach
that's
2.
reach 2. So it becomes a difficulty 2 test.
So I've got 2.
Okay. So you've got 2. This thing gets to parry. Oh, what am I doing? I'm clicking with the mouse, but not on the laptop. Okay. Which is a failure and a complication.
So I've got a complicated hit with a complicated fail. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to just should we just cancel out the 2 complications because it's going to be quicker and easier?
Yep.
Okay. So the 2 complications cancel one another out. You both have a bit of a moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, you managed to get in just enough to scrape a hit.
Okay.
So you don't earn any momentum from that, but you do get a roll for damage.
Okay. There we go then. So that's my 6.
Oh,
So I've got a choice of re-rolling if I want to, but I'm not going to. But I don't get any effects.
yeah, the effects don't do anything because you're using a sword, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't personally have any momentum, which means you can't spend it on bypassing his armor.
I've got this pull momentum. You said you keep telling us.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you spend pull on bypass?
I feel this situation would be a bit more complicated.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Is it pull momentum or is it personal momentum?
I would generally think that should be personal momentum,
Because
but
if it's pull momentum when I roll to attack, then doing damage, is it still pull momentum? Or the rules change?
So the way I'm thinking about it is, as a general rule, if you spend momentum, you do something outstanding. So if you manage to make an attack, you do extra damage because your attack was so staggering. Where I'm absolutely fine on spending extra momentum is things like Allardyce sets the guy next to you on fire.
Yeah.
If we then want to spend Allardyce's momentum on your attack, it's the guy goes, "What the f- is that?"
Yeah.
And then somebody hits him in the side of the head with an
That's fine.
axe.
That's fine. Just checking.
Penetration just seems
Yeah.
odd to say. Yeah, because
somebody else did well. I penetrated. Yeah.
because Baldur manages to stab the guy that's on the floor, or Dougie manages to put an arrow into one of these guys, suddenly you're going to penetrate better with your sword stroke. Just seems a bit odd to me.
It depends if they're a bit more worried about it. I'll have to see what happened to their mate. Or not in the case of the undead. Good.
It's got to be said, I can't see anything here that means that you can't spend that.
And you do keep saying it's pull momentum, which is what I was asking.
Yeah, hell, okay. This is something for me to look up this week, but for the moment, yeah. If somebody wants to throw in a point of momentum for you to bypass,
or two, and then I'll definitely kill.
Right, I got something here, Louis.
yeah, go on then.
Momentum can be used to assist the actions of other player characters, who can then use momentum in addition to any momentum that they might generate themselves through successful skill test or other test. If players wish to share momentum or save it beyond their turn, it then gets placed in a momentum pool from which all players can draw. So it sounds like during your turn, you generate your own.
Yeah.
And once your turn ends, it then becomes a pool.
It then goes into the pool, yeah.
So it may be worth, I don't know if you're interested or not, is creating a separate area, which is pool momentum.
I can't work out how to do that on here, otherwise I would have done.
A spare dummy player.
It's yeah, I can't work out how to do a dummy player, but actually I could.
Anyway.
Right, well, yeah.
Is it worth me doing penetration so he takes a wound, is the question.
You need to spend both of the 2 points of momentum which are currently on the table.
We're going to lose one of them at the end of the round anyway.
Or
spend one, we're going to lose the other one.
Or spend 2 in disarm them.
Yeah, spend 2.
Disarm them. You could, you could spend 2 to disarm.
Go for it.
Hang on, 2 to 3 to disarm.
He's holding it in one hand because he's got a shield, so it's only 2.
Yes, you are right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I hadn't. I needed to read what the 2 to 3 was. So, yeah, you can spend 2 to disarm him, or you could
spend 2 and do a wound,
or you could spend 2 and break his guard.
But the breaking his guard's not going to be any good, is it?
Has Cage been yet?
Yeah. Everybody else has been.
No.
So breaking his guard's pointless.
Yeah,
that's something you want to do early.
Breaking his guard will unless he spends a. Actually, is it a minor action or is it an action?
Minor.
Well, I'd be better off doing.
It's a minor action. Hang on, it's a minor action to regain guard, but to regain guard is a parry check against. I'm trying to think what the hell the difficulty is. There's a difficulty to regain guard. Normally, I'd open the rule book, but for some reason, my machine is really, really slow tonight. Actually, you know what I'm going to do very quickly, because I'm not going to need it. Right, give me half a sec. I hate to do this in the middle of the game, but I am going to... If I disappear for a sec, I apologise, but hopefully I won't.
It's difficulty equal to the opponent's reach, Louis.
Yes.
So the opponent's reach is 3.
You're using a sword, which is 2.
So it's one different, yeah.
No, that is the difficulty. Yeah. It's just your reach.
There we go. Right. Hopefully, does that give me... That's better.
I think we're better off doing a wound, but I don't know.
It's entirely your call, but all I wanted to do was make sure you understood the ruling.
But if I break the guard, what's it going to do? Next time you have to roll to try and get his weapon back.
Next time round, he's got to make a parry test against the
difficulty 2.
Against difficulty 2. If he manages that, okay, he hasn't done that. But if not, it's more difficult for him to attack you.
Yeah.
And it's easier for you to attack him.
Which is the same as a wound anyway. No, wound's only for him to attack us, not the other way round.
Wound is anything he does that's physical becomes
Yeah.
one more difficult.
But it's not
So,
easier for us to attack him. So actually, breaking guard does give us the best option, but he has a chance to recover that.
it'll only be Actian who's broken his guard.
Surely it's anyone, isn't it?
He doesn't have a guard. He doesn't have a guard.
No, because it's about a breaking guard is about getting inside somebody's guard.
So a character has guard if he is on his feet, aware of attack, and able to defend himself. But he loses it if he's prone or when attacker spends 2 points of momentum after a successful attack. So it doesn't mention just against that character. Guard's lost.
Oh, okay.
If he's got a spear and I break his guard, he obviously can't attack me then because I'm inside his spear range.
Did we say that became more difficult? I know
Yes.
you found that a minute ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So he can still attack you, but it's a more difficult attack.
Because I'll be inside his spear range.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really difficult attack if I've broken his guard and I'm inside his spear range.
Yeah. Or the interesting thing there is if you manage to break a spearman's guard with a dagger, then the difficulty goes up by 2. If you break it with a sword, it only goes up by 1 because suddenly you've got the guy right inside, stabbing you with a short.
I do think I should do penetration and
Well,
damage.
you've got a shield, haven't you, Charlie?
Yeah, I think I should just wound him.
So I'm just saying, if you break his guard, okay. Firstly, he's got to spend time trying to gain guard back, which he won't necessarily get. But also, you have guard because you're on your feet, you're aware of an attacker coming, and you're able to defend yourself. So not only has he lost the difficulty for him being not on guard, but it's also one harder for you being on guard. So it's actually a D2 increase, which you only get a D1 if you wound him.
So I'll do one or maybe 2 damage to him. Go on then, I'll do a break guard.
Okay. So this is that guy there.
Give Louis a bit of experience.
Well, that's why I suggested either break guard or disarm, because it's something we haven't done yet.
Yeah. Okay, so he takes 2 points of damage. But he has guard lost. Okay.
And we have to chuck both our momentum in.
Yeah, I've put mine in already.
Yeah.
Can you chuck yours in, Simon? If he's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Blimey, this fight is taking longer than I thought it was. What time do people have to stop tonight?
I can't carry on too much longer because I've got a late night tomorrow night.
Okay. In which case, I think what I might have to do, I don't like stopping in the middle of combat, but this combat is going to go on a while. If we stop at the end of this round, does that sound good?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. So, just to check this. So, Baldor's gone. Actian's moved. Aldai's moved. Actian has broken the guard of one of these guys. Genghis has shot. And for the first time in known history, Kaja has stepped up, taken diplomacy to somebody, and completely failed to get any kind of impact at all. Which means it is these 2 guys goes. So, the guy who has been attacked by Kaja is going to thrust with his spear. I'm going to spend 2. I've got a few. I'm not going to spend Doom now, but I've got it for next time if I want it. With a 4 and a 3, I probably don't need to do too much. Okay, that's 3 successes. Does Kaja want to try and parry?
Yes.
Okay, she's got the swords. She gets first parry for free. So somebody needs to roll Kaja's parry.
Well, Aladai's doing KG this turn, isn't he?
Yep, can do. So is that 1d20, Louis, or 2?
2d20, and you've got a 314.
That's a 2 and a 7.
Oh, okay.
So that's 3.
So that's 3,
That's 3.
which actually gives her 1 momentum, doesn't it?
No.
No, doesn't. That cancels out. Okay.
It cancels out.
So yeah, she manages to take the spear and push it off to one side. And Action is standing opposite the other one who does the same thing.
No, we
Like,
don't.
that's bright guard and everything else.
Oh, that yeah. Okay, right. Forget that roll. Right. So difficulty increases by the difference in the reach.
Yep. So it increases by 1.
So that goes up by 1.
Andy doesn't have guard, whereas Charlie does.
So on the next round, he won't have guard.
So if you don't have guard, that puts up the difficulty of your attacks.
That's what you said.
No, it goes up by 1 for his attack.
Once you've broken guard, it's 1 extra difficulty, I think, for each difference in reach.
Range. Yeah, reach. Yeah.
So if you break someone's guard and your weapon is a 2 and their weapon is a 3, it is then
1 harder to hit.
It's 1 harder for them to hit you.
Yeah. Yep.
If you've got a dagger,
round,
then it's 2 harder for them to hit you.
Yep. On the next round, he won't have guard, but I attack him.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So it's 2d20 to attack, but I've got a difficulty 2 to hit you.
If the defender has guard, the difficulty of the attack increases by 1 step for the point of defender's reach longer than the attackers.
So that's a fail then.
If the
Doug, we'll treat it like that. Let's have a chat when the game ends,
yeah,
and we'll try and work out, because it's one of those things. I think I've got it sorted in my head. Every time I think I've got it sorted in my head, it comes back round and I go, or is it like that? So, okay, that is a 11, 13. Okay, that's 2. So he does manage to hit you.
So I can parry, can I?
You can parry, and it's going to be a pretty easy parry. And you're using a sword, so you don't pay for parry.
2d20.
2d20, make it at least 1 success. Okay. With all that working for you, no successes.
Yeah.
Did you have your shield out or not?
Yeah, have my shield out.
That's probably good.
Because I deliberately got it out before we started.
Yeah, I thought I remembered you getting your
Missed
shield
a
out.
round of attack for it, yeah.
That was probably worth it. Okay, so this thing's spear does... Oh, damn. Give me half a sec. Sorry. I've got it printed out, and the version I've got printed out doesn't have the spear. So I added the spear after I printed it.
I've still got 3 parries left. Can I parry again?
No, only once per attack.
Yeah, because I get 4 per round.
normal is 4 combat die, reach 3, piercing 1.
Yeah. These guys are badass. They really are.
Well, not
right.
Yeah, but okay.
And it's unbalanced.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so
What the fuck?
okay. So that's going to do 8 damage with 5 piercing. Does Axiom wear a helmet at all?
No.
Oh shit. Okay, you get 2 damage dice of soak for your shield.
Yeah.
I would suggest rolling those and rolling really, really well.
2 damage dice. Ready?
Yeah.
It's Charlie
Oh,
you're talking about.
Damage.
Not,
That's not damage die.
All right. Oh, 2 CD. Right, okay. 2.
could have been worse. Okay, so that's 6 damage.
So one wound.
Okay. You'll get right. Okay.
Can't even sacrifice a helmet to stop the wound.
You could sacrifice a shield. If you want to, you can sunder your shield.
And then I'll lose 2 more damage off of that.
No. If you sunder your shield, do you still take the resolve damage if you
You
sunder?
still take you take 4 points of damage, so you take 6, but you don't take a wound.
Yeah.
I'll do the shield thing. Go on.
Okay. So your shield splits, and you as this. How the hell he manages to hit you with this, you have no idea. But yeah, he just impacts. Actually, I'm going to tell you what, he can't get to you properly, and he just swings this thing round and brings it down on top of your shield with such incredible force that it just splits your shield, and the shock runs completely through you.
Yep.
So you take 6 damage, and your shield is completely destroyed.
So 6 vigor.
6 damage to your head.
Yeah. And the ones behind, I am going to say, can't get out unless unless they manage to get through you. They can't get out. So they can't take action this time, but they are back there. Feel their foul and fetid breath.
That's done half my physical health, physical vigor.
Yeah, you may want to have a look at second wind at some point, or you can what do they call it?
Yeah, recover 1 point
it
from
might be-
momentum spent.
Yeah, or I think it's brace, and no, it's not brace. What's it called? There's one of these where basically you can say, okay, I will gain back vigor instead of making an attack. He still doesn't have guard. He successfully hit you, but he still does not have guard. But yeah, he's hit you pretty hard. So yeah, I really hate stopping in the middle of combat, but yeah.
I mean, that feels like kind of a fair place.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stop the broadcast and we'll come